New York Mets and Atlanta Braves on this Friday night. As the All-Star break's coming up, these two teams will battle one another in this 4-game series leading into the All-Star break. Good ball game last night with the Mets left-hander Bobby Ojeda doing the job. Sid Fernandez would like to be the second left-hander to do the same against the Braves tonight, and he'll make his appearance. I'm sure Bob Murphy also hoping that the next time out maybe will be an inning or so in an All-Star game.
Don't you know he has to feel awfully good? First native of Hawaii to represent the National League or the American League in an All-Star game, I believe. I'm not sure whether Mike Lum ever made an All-Star team or not. And a fastball for a strike call to Andres Thomas. But here is Sid Fernandez with a 6-game winning streak, an overall record of 11-2. And the pitch on the way up high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sid has an ERA of 2.89. There are 3 11-game winners of the National League. All 3 are left-handers. 1-1 delivery, pop foul out of play. Shane Raleigh of the Phillies, Fernando Valenzuela of the Dodgers, and Sid Fernandez of New York have all won 11. Sid is the only member of that trio in action here tonight. So if he can win, he'll be the first 12-game winner of the National League. He was the first 11-game winner. The 1-2 delivery, up high, 2-2. On the infield for New York, Keith Hernandez at first, Wally Backman playing second. Kevin Mitchell is at short and Ray Knight at third. Fernandez siding in as Gary Carter provides the target. And a pop-up down the right field line, coming hard as Strawberry. He'll get there, crosses the line, makes the catch. And Sid Fernandez off to his usual start with a fly ball out. One thing about it, Davey Johnson has been playing Kevin Mitchell as short every time Sid Fernandez starts. Sid is such a fly ball out pitcher that the infield gets very few ground balls when he is pitching. Now Ken Griffey had a 19-game hitting streak come to an end last night against the pitching of Bobby Ojeda. He went 0 for 4. And the pitch on the way. Outside and low, 1 ball and no strikes. Ken Griffey hitting .286. The 1-0 delivery, a little bit wide of fastball, 2 balls and no strikes. Last night was the first time Ken Griffey has failed to hit since being traded for Atlanta for Claudell Washington. Behind on the count, the 2-0 delivery, missing ball 3, 3-0. George Foster in left and playing over toward the left field line against Ken Griffey. Lynn Dykstra to left center field. And Darryl Strawberry around and right. 3-0 delivery, low, ball 4. He walked him on 4 pitches. So Ken Griffey has reached on a walk.
Ironic could do that against the first left-handed batter he faces in the lineup.
He sees so few left-hand batters, I think it's harder for him to throw strikes against them.
It's true. He has such a tremendous strikeout ratio against left-handers. Most ball clubs just will get everybody out of there unless they absolutely have to leave a left-hander in.
Now Dale Murphy, the center fielder, he's an all-star. Tony Gwynn, Dale Murphy, and Darryl Strawberry, the National League outfield on Tuesday night. Dale Murphy hitting a hard .280. Pitch thrown up high, ball 1. That's 5 in a row out of the strike zone. Dale Murphy, after sitting out a game and ending his long streak, returned to action last night and went 3 for 3. Terry Harper went 4 for 4. Those were the only hits for Atlanta. Off-speed delivery, outside, ball 2. And it's going to get aggravating to Sid Fernandez here in a moment. That is 6 in a row out of the strike zone. And he hasn't really been wild. They've all been very close. Russ Nixon coaching at third for Chuck Tanner. Willie Stargell on the lines at first base. Throw to first, too late. Plate umpire tonight is Jerry Crawford. Charlie Williams at first, Dana DeMuth at second, and Terry Tata is the umpire at third. Dale Murphy batting third, the cleanup batter, and captain Bob Horner waiting on deck. Braves are a game under 500 on the year. In comes the delivery, low, ball 3, and that's 7 in a row. And Gary, I don't think one has missed very much yet.
No, it hasn't. He's been right around the money at the knees, outside part of the plate. That one down low over the middle of the plate. It's just missing.
Behind on Dale Murphy, 3-0. And the pitch on the way, strike call down the middle. And it goes to 3-1 on Dale Murphy. That's playing the outfield deep against Dale Murphy. He is so consistent. He gets his 36 home runs every year and his 100 RBIs. Griffey, a lead from first. There he goes. The pitch. High foul pop. Probably out of play. Carter coming back, hoping for a play. Nope. It'll drop into the crowd. And the count is 3-2. So Griffey was running on the 3-1 delivery. Fouled away by Dale Murphy, and it goes to 3-2. Skies mostly overcast. Delightfully cool evening. About 72 degrees here at the beginning of the ball game. Mets and the Braves have played 6 games this year. New York winning 4 and Atlanta winning 2. Well, if Griffey was running on 3-1, you know he'll be running on 3-2. There he goes. The pitch. Strike 3 call. Throw to second. Safe. Stolen base. Ken Griffey. So close to being a strike him out, throw him out, double play. Dale Murphy took a call, third strike. The throw by Gary Carter right on the money. Very close play, and Ken Griffey has a stolen base. That'll be his 4th of the year.
He was fortunate to pick that one up. Great throw by Gary Carter, and it looked as though the tag was there in time. He may have just gotten the legs around at that time to get into the bag.
He must have, because from here it looked like they had him. Now the hitter is the captain, Bob Horner, right-hand power hitter. 17 home runs. And the pitch on the way. At the knees, a strike call. Bob Horner hitting .284. 17 homers, 56 RBIs. Fernandez checking Ken Griffey at second. Fouled upstairs. It'll go out of play. Many of the old-timers have already arrived on the scene, and they are here watching the ball game tonight. Tomorrow, the silver anniversary old-timers ball game here at Shea. The ceremony is getting underway at 11:45 a.m., a quarter of 12. Saw Roy McMillan earlier this evening, and Eddie Yost. Back at one time was an interim manager for the New York Mets. And the 2-strike delivery, curveball, inside low, 1-2. The famous 23-inning game the Mets played with the Giants, second game of a doubleheader. Roy McMillan, who was in the twilight of his career at that time, played all 32 innings that day. And he engineered a triple play in the 14th inning. Now the 1-2 pitch. Curve again low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 14th inning with a score tied. Giants had runners on first and second, nobody out, and Orlando Cepeda coming to bat. Larry Benarth was on the mound. With the runners going, Cepeda cracked the line drive, stabbed by McMillan, and the Mets turned to triple play. The game went on almost another 10 innings. Swing and a miss. Fandy him on a high hardwood. Good job by Sid Fernandez. Boy, he can really turn it up when he wants to. No runs, no hit or runner left in scoring position. Middle of inning 1 at Shea, Atlanta nothing. Mets coming to bat. David Palmer, now 28 years old, pitching for Atlanta here tonight. When he first came up with Montreal, his rookie year he won 10 and he lost only 2. And that was the last year until now that he's been a real healthy pitcher. He's had as much bad luck as you could have. David Palmer spending time on the disabled list in each of 6 consecutive years. He's had a couple of elbow operations. He's had a knee operation. He had a shoulder problem. And this year he's been feeling pretty good. Palmer on the year has won 5 and lost 7. Signed by a free agent, as a free agent by Atlanta. Lenny Dykstra takes high and away, 1 ball and no strikes. And David Palmer, in the 6 years he's been in the National League, has really been tough on New York. His lifetime record against the Mets, 6 wins and 2 losses. 1-0 delivery, slider inside low, 2 balls and no strikes. Len Dykstra hitting .330. And over the last 32 ball games, to raise his average to the .330, Dykstra has batted .404. Strike call to the inside corner. 2 balls and a strike. Wally Backman, the on-deck batter, and then Keith Hernandez. And the pitch on the way, hit foul down the third baseline. He tried to do that. Ramirez challenging him, playing way in on the grass at third. So Dykstra tried to hit it right by him. We've seen him do that very successfully, far more than once.
Somebody's going to eat one of those one of these days because he really slaps the ball hard down the third baseline.
Ramirez retreats a little bit now. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. He's less of a threat to bunt. And a swing and a foul tip just got a piece of it. That's winning 5-1 last night, snapped their 3-game losing streak. Only twice all year have they lost as many as 3 in a row. And you know, last night was the 81st game of the year, the midpoint of the season. And over the first half, the Mets 56 and 25. 2-2 delivery. Inside low curveball by David Palmer. 3-2. So obviously, if they could match their first half pace, they would win 112 ball games. Can you imagine that? They don't have to win that many to win their division. 3-2 on Len Dykstra. The payoff delivery, ball 4. Dykstra with a good eye at the plate is on with a walk. And Wally Backman will come up. Wally's average even higher. Wally hitting at 340 as he stands in. And to get to 340 over the last 50 games, now that's about a 2-month span. Wally Backman has hit 375. At first base, Bob Horner will hold against Lenny Dykstra. Ken Overfeld is playing second. The rookie, Andres Thomas, at shortstop. And Rafael Ramirez, the former shortstop, is playing third base. Ken Griffey in left, Dale Murphy in center. And around in right field, Terry Harper. The Atlanta catcher tonight is Ozzie Virgil. Bruce Benedict caught the game last night. No score, last of inning 1 on a beautiful evening at Shea. Palmer, the right-hander out of Glens Falls, New York, delivers. Drag bunt down the first base line. Horner racing to the bag. Can he get him safe? He's safe. He slid by him. Wally Backman with a head-first slide managed to get his hand out there and somehow tagged the first base bag. Looked like Horner had an angle on him and would be able to get him, but somehow he couldn't do it.
It's called running on the razor's edge. Just enough to stay in fair territory. Wally had that body leaning. He had his feet right on the chalk, outside chalk line in that first base alleyway. His body was almost breaking in two. He was trying to avoid that tag, and he did, getting in head first.
Horner picked up the bunt and was running right at him, trying to get to the point where he knew he would intercept him. So Wally, running on the outside of the running lane, right on the edge of it, managed to slide headlong and tag the bag with his hand.
It's his ninth, Bob, his ninth bunt single this season, 9 for 13.
Fantastic success story by the table setters. The top 2 men on the batting order, their job is to get on base. And they are on base. Keith Hernandez has fought a batting slump for over 5 weeks. Can you imagine how many RBIs Keith would have now if he had been hot?
He's had people on virtually every time up.
Pitch to Hernandez. Inside, ball 1. On a hit and run play in last night's ball game, Hernandez delivered a very important 2-base hit. That came in the 5th inning. Put runners on second and third before the inning was over. The Mets would score 3 runs and break it open. Now the pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt. Handled on a bounce by Ozzie Virgil. 2 balls and no strikes. Gary Carter batting cleanup and waiting on deck. Mets will have 5 in the All-Star game next Tuesday night.
Usually we have planes flying overhead. Tonight we have a blimp.
I like blimps better. They don't make as much noise.
They don't. They fly a lot closer, though.
That's all right. They're quiet. Hernandez waiting on a 2-0 delivery. And the pitch on the way. Strike called outside corner at the knees. 2-1. Did you watch the great blimp race on Liberty Weekend?
I saw the replay on TV. I saw them all downtown that night on the 4th.
That's like watching a traffic jam on the Long Island Expressway.
Really.
A couple of tortoises in a race. 2-1 delivery in the dirt again, and again blocked by Ozzie Virgil, and it's 3-1. David Palmer breaking that ball into the dirt, pulling down a little bit too quickly on that curve ball, and the count goes to 3-1 on Keith Hernandez. Len Dykstra on second, Wally Backman on first, nobody out in the home half of the first inning at Shea Stadium. Good Friday night crowd on hand. Palmer is ready. And the pitch, the runners go, and a ground ball hit toward the middle. The only play is to first base, in time for the out. So the runners advance to second and third. Davey Johnson had a hit-and-run play on. It was kind of like good news and bad news. Good news, the runners wind up on second and third. Bad news, had it not been on, that might have been a base hit.
Ball was the bouncer, and they were heading the right way towards second base. It was headed for the middle that time. And even though it was close to second base, still no chance to get Wally Backman.
Now Gary Carter will be the hitter. Gary with 58 runs batted in. Mike Schmidt of Philadelphia, the league leader, with 61. Glenn Davis of the Astros, 59. And Gary Carter, 58. One swing of the bat here. Gary Carter could move into second place. Breaking ball outside low. 1 ball and no strikes. Think that ground ball would have gone through had the hit and run play not been on?
Would have been real close. It was a high chopper, and so he would have had a shot at it, but I don't know. Would have been a tougher play, that's for sure.
Oberthal was running to cover second on the hit and run play. Now the runners lead from second and third. High fly, hit deep to left, way back, and it's going, gone, a home run. Gary Carter with one swing of the bat has given New York a 3-0 lead in the first inning. For Carter, his 15th home run. And with that swing of the bat, he's tied for the National League lead in runs batted in. He's even with Mike Schmidt of Philadelphia with 61. He hit one last night, and Gary Carter is getting on a roll.
He'd had a little home run drought there as he comes out for the encore. Hadn't had a home run since June 20th until last night. Now he's hit 2 and as many days and has 3 home runs against the Atlanta Braves this season.
3-0 New York, a walk, a bunt single, a 3-run homer by Gary Carter. He hit that one deep, well back into the visiting bullpen in left field. And Darryl Strawberry will bat now against David Palmer. And he's hit by a pitch. Look out. Strawberry is going to charge him, and the fight is on. Everybody emptying out. Strawberry going right after David Palmer. Now they're milling all over the place. Strawberry deliberately hit by a pitch following a home run. He charged, and Palmer, the pitcher, took his glove off and threw it to Strawberry. That didn't hurt anybody. Strawberry then tried to find David Palmer, and now everybody is all together and nobody can find anybody. So the baseball fight will be over in a very few moments. But Strawberry did not like it one little bit. Right now, the swinging is all stopped. What'd you see of that melee, Gary?
Not much. Strawberry missed him. Strawberry got out there. The glove was thrown at him. And fortunately for both Darryl Strawberry and David Palmer, somebody got in between them. Ozzie Virgil got out there almost as quickly as Darryl did and pulled Darryl Strawberry away, and somebody else grabbed Palmer. So they never got a chance to go at one another, and the rest was just the usual cling-around mill.
The only thing I'm wondering, that ball was not thrown very hard. Was that a breaking ball?
Couldn't tell. It hit him right in the backside. He had time to turn all the way around to it.
Yeah, he wasn't hit very hard by it. Now let's see what the umpires are going to do. I wonder if they'll throw Strawberry out of the game. They might. We'll know in a moment. Mets are all coming back toward the dugout now. Chuck Tanner, the manager of the Atlanta Braves, out there. And probably now, as usually happens, the umpires will warn both managers, saying if it happens again, if there's any retaliation, your pitcher's gone. This is one rule that most National Leaguers do not like. They put this no retaliation rule in several years ago. What it means is though Strawberry was hit by a pitch, now the Mets pitcher cannot come out and retaliate. If he does, he's thrown out of the ballgame.
Yeah, it kind of gives the first guy in gets the advantage.
Yes, like being able to throw the first punch and you can't hit back.
You get one free. But that's chalked up in the memory bank if necessary for a later occasion.
I believe the Mets have about 3 of those in the memory bank now. Strawberry has not been thrown out. He'll stay in the ballgame. He'll be at first. David Palmer also will stay in the ballgame.
We talked about on Carter's home run. You just mentioned, Bob, how he was hanging that, coming down with that curveball and breaking it off too late, was missing the strike zone with it. It looked like on Carter's home run, he tried to adjust on that, and he got that pitch right down the middle, and it hung right at the letters on Gary Carter, right over the middle of the plate, and didn't break at all.
Manager Chuck Tanner of Atlanta talking with David Palmer. He wants to settle him down, make sure he's relaxed enough to continue pitching here. A couple of times this year we've had a fight, and they couldn't get the bullpen gate open for the players out in the bullpen to come in and join in. I see the visiting bullpen gate is open all right. What happened to the Mets bullpen?
Well, they made it.
They made it all right.
Yeah, they just got back first, that's all. They're already back in their seats out there.
They're already back, and they've tidied up and closed the gate and ready to go on with the ball game.
Randy Neiman must have been in the clubhouse or the hallway because He was the last one out. He came charging out of the dugout.
He got there just in time to pay the toll. George Foster will be the hitter when play resumes. Big crowd on this Friday night. That gets this game off to a very lively start. But the umpires have warned the managers there will be no retaliation. So that should be the end of it. Obviously, Sid Fernandez is not going to throw at anybody and get thrown out of the ballgame.
No.
You just be cutting off your nose to spite your face, as the old saying goes.
Absolutely, especially when you got a 3-run lead.
Now here's Tanner coming back out. He may be asking why is Strawberry still in the ballgame. I don't know.
He may just want David Palmer to have some time here. That we've mentioned before, as anybody knows, even just wrestling and fun, it takes so much energy out of you that to get your adrenaline back down in your body functioning at a normal level takes a few minutes here. David Palmer needs a little time.
Boy, if wrestling and fun wears you out, think about mud wrestling. That'd kill you, wouldn't it?
It kills me watching it.
Oh, my. Jerry Crawford, the plate umpire, talking with Chuck Tanner, not about mud wrestling, but about what happened down on the field a few moments ago. 3 runs in on a Gary Carter 3-run homer. Now Foster retreats from the plate and goes back to the on-deck circle. David Palmer is warming up with the shortstop and not the catcher. Tanner now apparently is satisfied. We're taking it for granted that a warning was issued.
Oh, I'm sure, yes.
But you have to believe that it was.
Yes.
I did see Jerry Crawford intercept Davy Johnson over by the first baseline. I'm sure he told him that's the end of it. Funny thing, when Gene Michael was hired by the Cubs and checked in to manage, there had been a beanball incident before, and the umpires had warned both managers, the interim manager and the other manager, that there would be no more of that the entire series. Pitch thrown to Foster, and a high fly ball hit the left center field. Murphy on the warning track makes the catch. Dale Murphy to the warning track in left center, and he pulls that one down. I think Foster using a little psychology there. He figured he might be a little upset. Might throw me a fastball right in the wheelhouse. I want to be ready.
He was, too. He got it just a little bit underneath it as he hit it way up in the air. No wind here tonight at all, so there'll be no effect on any balls hit here right now anyway.
Third baseman Ray Knight hitting at 290. Ray fighting a bat slump at the moment. Probably the 3-day break for the All-Star game will be a big help to Ray and to all the players. Ray will spend the All-Star break in Houston. He still has a home there after playing for the Astros. The runner goes. The throw to second. The slide. Safe. Stolen base. Darryl Strawberry. And for Darryl, that's his 19th of the year. And he is the New York Mets club leader in stolen bases. 19th for Darryl Strawberry. Ray Knight took the pitch to let Darryl Strawberry steal second. Dale Murphy, the all-star center fielder for Atlanta. A couple of strides to right center against Ray Knight. David Palmer delivers. Slow ground ball down to third. Stabbed by Ramirez. And the throw to first in time for the out. And that will retire the side. For New York. Strawberry started to go to that Atlanta dugout. But he was intercepted by Buddy Harrelson. Strawberry looked like he wanted to go into the Atlanta dugout looking for David Palmer. Buddy Harrelson got over there and talked him out of it. Wow, what a start to this ball game. 3 runs. There were 2 hits and a man left on. At the end of 1 inning, New York 3, Atlanta nothing.
For Atlanta, number 19, right fielder, Terry Harper.
Inning number 2 now, and Terry Harper, the right fielder, will be leading off against Sid Fernandez. Now Sid will check it out with Gary Carter. 3-0 New York. What a lively first inning that was. And the pitch on the way and a fastball for a strike call. So many of the old-timers are already here. A lot of young old-timers. Delighted to see Rube Walker, Joe Pignatano, and Eddie Yost. All members of the late Gil Hodges coaching staff. All coached about 13 years with New York. Curveball inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Roy McMillan on hand. Roy McMillan helped Buddy Harrelson so much when Buddy came up in '66. Off the outside corner, 2 balls and a strike. On our members-only scoreboard, Montreal and Cincinnati, 1-1 after 4. Gullickson and McGaffigan are the pitchers. The Cubs are at Dodger Stadium. No score in the second. And a foul ball back under our broadcast booth and out of play. Scott Sanderson and Rick Honeycutt pitching tonight at Dodger Stadium. The Phillies are in Houston. That'll be Don Carmen taking a start against Mike Scott, who's 9-5 and in the All-Star game. St. Louis at San Diego, Danny Cox and Andy Hawkins. Pittsburgh at Candlestick Park. Just missing. What's that rookie for the Pirates' first name? Sabor. Came up from Hawaii. Anyhow, he's pitching against Steve Carlton. The time you look it up, he may be gone.
Give me a chance now. Rich.
3-2 delivery. Lined foul down the left field line. No play. In the American League, the Yankees at Minnesota. Doug Drabek and Neil Heaton, Yankees out in the first. Doubleheader in Kansas City. The Royals beat Detroit 4-3 in the first game of a doubleheader. Brett Saberhagen with relief help from Steve Farr. Second game, Frank Tanana and Dennis Leonard. Toronto 6, Oakland 3. They're in the fourth inning in Toronto. And the pitch on the way. Foul back. No play. California 1, Boston nothing in the fourth inning. Kurt McCaskill against Tom Seaver. Tom trying to win his third straight with the Red Sox. Cleveland 6, Texas 1 at the end of 2 innings. Bobby Witt was routed by the Cleveland Indians, who are a tough ball club this year. They are no longer a cinch to beat. Foul ball against his leg. Baltimore 2, Chicago nothing. They're in the third inning at Comiskey Park. Seattle at Milwaukee, that is being delayed because of rain. Right here, the hitter is Terry Harper, who's really been on a roll. He had 4 for 4 off Bobby Ojeda last night. Funny thing, last night, Atlanta had 7 hits. Harper got 4, and Dale Murphy had 3. They had all 7. Nobody on, nobody out. We're in the top of the second inning. 3-2 delivery. Foul back, and that's 5 in a row that he's fouled off. Well, now the best-looking guys in America wear members-only eyewear. Whether it be at work, home, or play, you not only want to see your best, you want to look good doing it. Members only. And still another 3-2 count on Terry Harper. Terry Harper, after a slow start, has been on a very hot roll. 3-2 pitch. Ground ball toward the middle, base hit. Boy, he's 5 for 5 in this series. Harper, a hard single to center field. He's hitting everything right now.
You just can't miss. He's going to be a real addition. He's probably going to be for real. He won't be this hot, but Terry Harper's always been a pretty good hitter.
Pretty good hitter. He was a late bloomer. Joe Torre was managing Atlanta. He gave him his first chance after he'd been laboring in the minor leagues at the AAA level for a couple of years. Rafael Ramirez, the third baseman, right-hand hitter. Now Harper with a short lead, and the pitch on the way is up high, ball 1. 3-0 New York, a 3-run homer by Gary Carter off David Palmer. Willie Stargell coaching first, Russ Nixon coaching third. Now waiting on a 1-0 delivery. Swing and a miss. Good fastball by Sid Fernandez. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kevin Mitchell is short. Wally Backman at second. They are pinched toward the middle at double play depth. And Dykstra, the speedy center fielder, not figuring he'll pull the fastball, plays him toward right center field. And the pitch. Inside at the knees, 2 balls and a strike. Ozzie Virgil is out on deck. Braves, by losing last night, fell 1 game under 500. Western Division so evenly balanced, everybody has a shot at it. Throw to first, and Harper's back to the base. Mets have had a better record against the National League East than they have the West. And that's the way you want it to be. 2-1 delivery, foul ball, no play. When you're playing teams in your own division, that's the game you want to win. You want to win them all, but there's more importance in your own divisional play.
A lot of Braves have had about the same. They're playing 500 ball in the Western Division and just a game under against the Eastern Division teams.
They're just about even Steven with everybody on everything. Now Sid Fernandez fires over to first base. Game 3 of the series tomorrow. First pitch tomorrow will be at 1:50. Tomorrow, Old Timers Day. And the ceremonies get underway tomorrow at 11:45 in the morning. 2-2 delivery. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Ramirez fanned fastball by Fernandez for Sid his third strikeout. Sid is averaging almost 8 strikeouts a game. 7.7. And he's allowed fewer than 6 hits per game. Best figure in the National League. Now with 1 out and 1 on, Ozzie Virgil is the batter. Virgil, the veteran catcher, hitting at .210. Has hit with power, 11 homers and 30 RBIs. You play at that launching pad in Atlanta, Georgia. If you have some power, it's going to come front and center. Infield looking for 2, and a high infield pop. Keith Hernandez calls off Carter. Standing on the line, makes the catch for the out. Maybe a half stride into foul ground. The infield gets very few shots at a double play when Sid Fernandez is the pitcher. More than any other pitcher in the National League, he's a fly ball out pitcher. Pop-ups and fly balls. And you know, he has such good stuff, he can pitch in a small ballpark.
Yeah, he could. And it looks as though in the last couple of outings, his fastball actually looks like it's getting faster as the season goes along, or at least quicker.
You know, he's in great physical shape. He lost a lot of weight a couple of years ago, and he's kept it off. Ken Obergfell, the hitter. At the knees, strike 1 call. New York 3, Atlanta nothing, top of the second inning. Just a delightful evening for National League Baseball in New York tonight. That's with a 10.5 game lead of the National League East. And a throw to first. Mets need to have a little comfort because after the All-Star break, they will play 21 of their next 28 games on the road. However, they have been a very good road ball club all year. Swing and a miss. They'll have only 7 at home and 21 on the road. On the road this year, the Mets are 27 and 11. 16 games over 500. First long trip they took this year, they won 9 and lost only 1. Crowd applauding for a strikeout. Throw to first, too late. Charlie Williams, the umpire at first base. Harper with a pretty good lead. He can steal a base, but he's not a big threat. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Number 4 for Sid Fernandez. He just wipes out left-hand hitters. No runs, a leadoff single, and a man left. And at the end of an inning and a half at Shea, New York 3, Atlanta nothing. While we're waiting for Kevin Mitchell to lead off the home second, we pause for station identification on the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is Sid Fernandez.
Kevin Mitchell hitting .352 to lead off against right-hander David Palmer. Mr. Versatility, Kevin Mitchell. What an impressive rookie. He hits the ball so hard. And the pitch on the way. Ground ball hit the shortstop. Snagged by Thomas, the long throw. And on 1 pitch, 1 retired. And we pause for... No, we did that, didn't we?
Yeah, we did that one.
Yeah, you don't need to...
FCC says 1. Those people at those stations, you know what he just did to them? They just came catapulting across the boards.
I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about what's happening in my memory.
Well, nothing. You were just ahead of yourself. That's for the next half hour.
First time I've been ahead all day. Sid Fernandez will bat now against David Palmer. Sid, a left-hand hitter. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Game 3 of the series tomorrow, Old Timers Day. And then Sunday, Rusty Staub Day here at Shea Stadium. Now the pitch on the way, and a ground ball toward the middle. Thomas can't run it down. Base hit going into center field. Ground single through the middle for Sid Fernandez, his 6th base hit of the year. The People Express team of airlines, with their low prices and frequent service from Newark and Farmingdale to over 140 cities, they cover all the bases. Now 1 out and 1 on, top of the order for Lynn Dykstra. Dykstra got it going in the first when he reached on a walk. Then Wally Backman, a drag bunt base hit to set the stage for Gary Carter. In close at third, Rafael Ramirez. Swing and a foul, skidding on the ground, straight back. And a one-strike count on Wally Backman. Or Lynn Dykstra, beg your pardon. Wally is on deck. Dykstra hitting at .330. Buddy Harrelson coaching third. Bill Robinson at first. Now the pitch on the way. Palmer throws a lot of breaking balls. That's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. One of the best-looking rookies you ever saw when he first came up. 10-2 his first full year with Montreal. Then came a succession of injuries. Bob Horner holding against Sid Fernandez. Foul ball against the foot of Lynn Dykstra. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dykstra and Backman, or Mookie Wilson, at the top of the batting order. They have just been dynamite at being on base for the middle of the batting order. Mets lead the National League in batting, in runs scored, and in home runs. And when you have a good pitching staff, that's a happy combination.
Tough to catch up to.
Now a 1-2 delivery. Squib that is foul, straight back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Mets will have 5 going to the All-Star game. 3 starters. Gary Carter, Keith Hernandez, and Darryl Strawberry. Dwight Gooden also will be a starter, starting against Roger Clemens of the Red Sox. Sid Fernandez goes. And so does manager Davey Johnson as one of Whitey Herzog's coaches. Low outside, 2-2 to Dykstra. And don't forget Rusty Staub. Rusty is the honorary captain of the National League All-Stars this year. We could almost use a charter flight going down there.
We won't have to carry many guys for the Houston series. They'll all be there.
Now waiting on a 2-2 delivery. Swing and a miss. Struck him out with a breaking ball low inside. First strikeout for David Palmer. He seems to be settling down after the melee in the opening inning. After Carter hit a 3-run homer, in case you joined us late. Very next pitch thrown by David Palmer hit Darryl Strawberry, which Darryl did not care for. So he dropped his bat and charged the mound, and there was a lot of milling around and grabbing. Didn't last too long. Now Wally Backman is the hitter. Wally with a drag bunt in the opening inning. High and outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Montreal playing at home tonight against Cincinnati. Let's have a 10.5 game lead. But as mentioned, they're going to play 21 of their next 28 at the end of this homestand on the road. 1-0 delivery outside, and Backman will lay off 2 balls and no strikes. Right after the All-Star break, the Mets have a 10-game road trip. 4 games in the Astrodome, 3 in Cincinnati, and 3 more in Atlanta. 2-0 delivery. Slow ground ball hit down to first, foul ball, no play. After the 10-game road trip, at the end of July, the Mets come home for a 4-game series with the Cubs. There's a doubleheader that makes up a rainout. That'll be on the 29th of July. A 3-game series with Montreal, then right back on the road. On that second road trip after the All-Star break, they go to Wrigley Field. And that'll be a big series, a 5-game series. That makes up a rainout, too. A weekend in Montreal and 3 in Philadelphia. Then they come home to play St. Louis 4 games, and then what do? They go to California. When they get back from California, they can unpack.
St. Louis series, Bob, we got 2 doubleheaders in that now, so that's going to be a 6-game series.
2-1 delivery, inside and low to Wally Backman. Boy, what a series that should be. There won't be enough pitching to go around in that series. St. Louis coming in on the 14th of August. And there'll be 2 doubleheaders in that series. Ground ball hit down to first, base hit, going into right field. Sid Fernandez around second, trying for third. Harper will not throw for him. First and third with 1 down. Or check that, with 2 men down. So Backman is 2 for 2 as he singles to right.
The most base running Sid's probably done in 4 or 5 years right there.
He went first to third on that ground single to right. I really didn't think he'd try to do that.
I didn't think he could do that.
He had plenty of room, though. There was no throw by Harper. Keith Hernandez, 0 for 1. Keith grounded out in the opening inning. Mets with a 3-0 lead. We're in the last half of the second. Now the pitch by Palmer. Slider inside low. 1 ball and no strikes. Gary Carter's 3-run homer got the Mets off flying in the opening inning. Gary now tied with Mike Schmidt of Philadelphia for the league lead in RBIs. Palmer, the right-hander, checks the runner at third. Missing the inside corner, and that just missed. 2 balls and no strikes. Keith Hernandez about due to really go on a splurge here. He did a year ago after hitting that 5-week batting slump. And once he broke out, he hit almost 360 the remainder of the year. Keith, a lifetime 300 hitter. David Palmer, 28-year-old right-hander, pitching for Atlanta. Now the pitch. In the dirt, bouncing away, moving to second base. Wally Backman holding at third. Sid Fernandez. That'll be a wild pitch. It was a breaking ball in the dirt. And he goes behind 3-0. And Gary Carter is on deck.
No chance for Sid to move up. Good block by Ozzie Virgil. The ball went right straight up in the air. He didn't know where it was, and it bounced to his side, so he was only about 3 feet from home plate when he found it.
Now the count has gone to 3-0 on Keith Hernandez. Gary Carter batting cleanup, standing by in the on-deck circle. Wild pitch charge to Dave Palmer. That allowed Backman to go from first to second. And the pitch. Inside, ball 4. Gary Carter will bat with the bases loaded. Carter came to bat with 2 men on in the first and hit a long home run into the visiting bullpen in left field. David Palmer struggling. Warm-up action in the Atlanta bullpen. Might be right-hander Jim Acker. Gary Carter taking his time now, getting in the batter's box. Gary with a golden opportunity here to grab the league lead in RBIs. 2 men down and the bases loaded. And the pitch on the way, over a strike call. Darryl Strawberry waiting on deck. I wonder if Carter hits a grand slam home run, if Strawberry will get hit by a pitch.
Palmer won't be around to do it, I don't think.
Nope. And the pitch on the way, swing and a miss, strike 2. Palmer going back, going to work, and working hard on Gary Carter. Reaching back, trying to get out of a tough jam. Bases loaded and 2 men down. Bases loaded on a walk and a couple of singles. Let's have 3 runs on 4 base hits. Ozzie Virgil will set a target. Now the pitch. And a high fly deep to left. It'll be a grand slam home run. Slam home run by Gary Carter. Imagine that, 2 times at bat. In the first 2 innings, he has 7 runs batted in, and he hit a 2-strike pitch. Looked like a hanging breaking ball. There was never any doubt about it. He put that one almost into orbit. Gary Carter's 3rd grand slam. He is out for an encore. 3rd as a member of the New York Mets.
That'll be his 10th grand slam of his career, Bob. And he hit that one right where he hit the last one. He really got a ton as Palmer made 2 big, huge mistakes on Gary Carter, getting that breaking ball up high, just hanging there. Gary Carter jumping on it for all it was worth.
And this will knock David Palmer from the ball game. Gary Carter came into the game with 58 RBIs, 3rd in the league. He now has 65 and is leading the National League. We'll get a break in the action with a new pitcher coming in the ball game, and we'll pause for this message from Ozark Airlines. Well, tomorrow is Old Timers Day. Tonight is Gary Carter night at Shea Stadium. Gary with 7 RBIs in 2 innings. Craig McMurtry getting warmed up on the mound. Gary will catch you up on the other Major League ball games.
Quickly looking in the National League, Cincinnati leads Montreal 2-1 in the 6th inning. Chicago, LA, no score in the third. Philadelphia 1, Houston nothing, bottom of the third. Other games will start later on. The American League, New York, Minnesota, no score in the third. First game of a doubleheader, Kansas City 4, Detroit 3. Toronto leading Oakland 6-3, top of the fifth inning. California 2, Boston nothing in the sixth. Cleveland 6, and Texas 1. They are in the fifth inning. Now Members Only has a whole range of sportswear and outerwear for boys that fits every move they make. A feeling you won't find anywhere else. Members Only for boys, sizes 4 to 20 at better stores everywhere. Bob?
Craig McMurtry starting Strawberry off with a breaking ball for a strike call. 7-0 New York, last of the second inning. McMurtry, tall, bespectacled right-hander. Fastball outside, 1-1. McMurtry has been struggling. He's 1-5 with a 4.52 ERA. 62 innings, 59 hits allowed. And the pitch thrown. Strawberry will take, and it's 2-1. David Palmer had not been giving up too many home runs, unless I'm reading this wrong. Wait a minute.
I think he had 12, Bob.
Yeah, you're right. So he has given up more than his share. That'll be his 13th. And the pitch thrown to Strawberry, a swing and a miss, 3-2. Greg Mailer, leading the Atlanta staff, has given up 15. Braves staff now has given up 84 on the year. 3-2 delivery, swing and a miss, struck him out. Slider low and in on Darryl Strawberry. He goes down swinging. So McMurtry gets the final out. The Mets score 4 runs. There were 3 hits, no errors, and none left on. The starting pitcher, Palmer, allowed 5 hits. He gave up 2 walks, both scored. Carter's driven them all home. He has 7 RBIs, and at the end of 2 innings, Mets 7 and Braves nothing.
Underway, Sid Fernandez and Craig McMurtry will lead it off. Takes the first pitch for a strike. So the Mets pounding the home runs out here tonight with Gary Carter doing it all. McMurtry swings and misses, 0-2. Palmer never got to the plate in the ball game, going only an inning and 2/3. Gary Carter wiped him out. Sid Fernandez delivers. Fastball missing inside to McMurtry, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. So the Mets with 7 runs on 5 hits. The Braves have 1 single off Sid Fernandez thus far in the ball game. The delivery to McMurtry is swung on and missed. He struck him out. McMurtry goes down swinging. Sid Fernandez has already struck out 5 in this ball game. His high, he's had a couple of 10 strikeout ball games this season. He's on his way to that right now. 5 over the first 2 and a third innings. Andres Thomas flied out to right field his first time up, the leadoff batter. The crowd still buzzing about Gary Carter, and they will be. Breaking ball, missing down low, ball 1. That is the most RBIs for Gary Carter in a single ball game already, with 7 up on the board. Delivery swung on, hit down the third baseline. That'll be a base hit, fair territory into left field. Over to get it, Foster on his way to second base. It'll be a stand-up double for Andres Thomas, the shortstop. First extra base hit for the Braves, and only their second hit of the game.
And a very unusual ground ball off Sid Fernandez.
And to whack that high pitch down into the ground. That'll bring up Ken Griffey. Griffey at the plate has drawn a walk his first time up, stole the base. He was left on. Sid Fernandez with a 7-0 lead in the top of the third inning. Checks the runner. The delivery to Griffey, left-handed batters outside for a ball. Sid Fernandez has walked only 1. Griffey picking that up in the first inning. Sid coming into the game with only 54 bases on balls in 109 innings. Which is not bad for Sid Fernandez. Ball hit hard to right center field on the run. Lenny Dykstra calling for it. He'll make the catch. Thomas will tag up, and he'll move over to third base. Deep fly ball near the warning track at the 396 mark. Thomas ends up on third, and there are 2 down, and Dale Murphy coming up. Dale Murphy called out on strikes his first time up. Murphy coming into this ball game, 14 home runs, hitting at .280 and 36 RBIs. Gary Carter's 2 home runs now bring him to 16. He's tied with Dave Parker for 4th place in the National League in home runs, and of course he has now moved ahead of Mike Schmidt for the RBI lead. Timeout taken. We've got a beach ball on the screen that's just going to sit there instead of completing its roll. So they were afraid that was going to come down behind home plate.
Somebody will hit a foul ball right straight back, and it'll smack into that beach ball.
It's a big one. 2 down, runner at third base. Full windup. Delivery by Sid Fernandez. Ground ball to short. Kevin Mitchell with a big hop. Throw to Keith Hernandez, and that will retire the side. Braves are out in the third inning. No run on a hit. Runner left on. We go to the bottom of the third. The Mets 7, the Braves nothing. George Foster will lead it off in the bottom of the third against right-hander Craig McMurtry on in relief. It will be Foster, Knight, and Mitchell coming up here. Mets now have 3 Grand Slam home runs this year. George Foster has one of those. He had his against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Tom Niedenfuer here in New York at Shea. Timmy Tuffle, of course, had that big game-winning Grand Slam home run against Philadelphia. Now Gary Carter. Ball is hit high in the air to second base. Oberkfell calling for it. On the dirt. Will make the catch, and Foster's retired on the first pitch. One away. So the Mets with 3 Grand Slams this season, and to the delight of New York Met fans.
I believe Timmy Tuffles was a pinch hit Grand Slam.
Pinch hit Grand Slam, yep. They've all been hit here, all 3 of them. Ray Knight stepping in. Ray having his problems getting the bat going at the plate. He's been playing about every other day here leading up to the All-Star break. McMurtry delivers to him. Swung on, hit in the air down the right field line. This will be trouble. It is a fair ball rolling into the corner. Ray Knight makes the turn. Harper up with it. Has trouble fielding it. Knight's going to try for 3. Oberkfell making the relay throw. Sliding head first. A triple for Ray Knight. That ball rolled into the deepest corner of right field as he hit it the other way. And Harper had trouble coming up with a baseball, allowing Knight to make the turn and end up at third base with a triple. So Ray Knight gets his second 3-bagger of the year. And the Mets have their 6th hit of the ball game, and that'll bring up Kevin Mitchell. Infield's going to play it halfway against Mitchell, who grounded out his first time up. Takes the pitch low and away from McMurtry. Ball 1. New York Mets leading the National League in home runs now, as they have 85 on the season, with the 2 added by Gary Carter here tonight. 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball, missing again, and McMurtry falls behind. 2 balls and no strikes.
82 games, 85 home runs.
Well ahead of last year's pace. Pitch misses down low. They had 63 at the same time last year.
They came close last year to the club record. This year they're going to wipe it out.
Boy, they are pounding home runs. Big home runs. 3-0 delivery, taking, and it's ball 4. So McMurtry getting himself in a jam here as he puts runners on at first and third. Has Sid Fernandez, the pitcher, coming up, so they'll try and get the ground ball double play right here.
You feel he was pitching around Kevin Mitchell right there?
Wasn't even trying.
Deliberate.
Yeah, wasn't even trying to find the strike zone. Sid Fernandez delivered a single and scored in the second inning. New York Mets with a 7-0 lead here in the bottom half of the third. McMurtry checking Kevin Mitchell. The delivery is swung on, hit down the left field line. A blooper, could be trouble. Griffey coming over, can't get it, base hit. Bounces off his glove into the stands. Bounced off his glove and into the stands. They'll hold him up. An RBI double. 2 for 2 for Sid Fernandez. A single and a double, and Fernandez has his second RBI of the year, and it is 8-0.
Boy, Sidney will have the respect of his pitching teammates. He now is the leader on the pitching staff in collecting base hits. He now has 7. He's well out in front.
Sidney having himself a night here with a big lead and enjoying it at the plate as well. Ray Knight scores. Kevin Mitchell has to hang on at third. Runners at second and third, 1 down, and Dykstra's up. 0 for 1 and a walk. Infield again. Oh, now they're going to move in. Infield will play in this time. The delivery to Dykstra misses up high for a ball. 7 hits for the New York Mets. That ball was a looper the other way. Left-handed batter Sid Fernandez hit it down the left field line. Griffey got to within a step of the ball. Couldn't get it. Swung on, hit in the air, deep to right field. Going back, Harper in the alleyway. He won't get it. Ball pops over the fence. It'll be a 2 RBI double. For Lenny Dykstra, it took 1 hop and went over the 396 mark. And the New York Mets have a 10-0 lead in the bottom of the third inning.
A couple of days ago, we were talking about how all year long the Mets had close game after close game and very few blowouts. That was when they were blown out by Cincinnati 11-1. Tonight, they're doing the blowing.
Maybe their chance to have the so-called laugher. Still very early, but it's a 10-0 lead here. 2 RBIs picked up by Lenny Dykstra, his 21st and 22nd. And for Lenny, that'll be his 15th double. Still only one away. Backman up is 2 for 2. 2 singles. He scored both times he's been on base. Takes the pitch down low.
One thing you know, Gary, Chuck Tanner is not going to waste a lot of pitching from here on in. There's nothing going in that Atlanta bullpen.
Craig McMurtry is going to hang out on the line for a while here. 1-0 delivery, swung on, ground ball to second. Runner will move up. Oberkfell plays it to first, retiring Wally Backman.
I would believe he's in the ball game until the next time he's due to hit, and he just had to turn it back.
Yep, he was just up. Keith Hernandez steps in. Keith has grounded out and drawn a walk. Gary Carter has delivered 2 home runs, a 3-run homer, and a grand slam home run. 7 RBIs of the 10 for New York. Craig McMurtry with 2 down and a runner at third. Hernandez takes the pitch down low, ball 1. Three innings, 3 times up for Keith Hernandez, Backman, and Dykstra. Hernandez now will step out on Craig McMurtry. McMurtry out of the stretch, checking the runner. The delivery, breaking ball in the dirt. Good stop by Ozzie Virgil. Virgil's been banged up in these 3 innings behind home plate. Palmer's breaking ball was hitting the dust, and then Virgil. And McMurtry's thrown a couple in the dirt. 2-0 count now on Keith Hernandez. Outfield straight away on Hernandez. Griffey in left in a couple of steps, actually. In case Hernandez goes the other way with it. McMurtry taking a little too long, and Hernandez will step out. Keith coming into the game hitting at .286. Delivery to him. That's misses outside, and the count is 3-0 with Gary Carter on deck. 2 down. Runner at third base. 10-0 Met lead. 3 in the first, 4 in the second, 3 more thus far. Delivery. Strike call in the outside corner. Lenny Dykstra getting his lead at third. McMurtry looking right at him. Delivers 3-1. It is down low, and Carter's coming up with people on again.
He now has a chance to tie, or even better, the Mets club record for RBIs in a single game. Dave Kingman once had 3 homers and 8 RBIs in a game at Dodger Stadium. Well, Gary Carter already has 7. He unloads an extra base hit here. He'll put his name in the book.
Gary Carter steps in. The fans are on their feet here, sensing maybe a little history. He has 2 home runs, a 3-run homer, a grand slam. 16 on the year, 2 on, 2 down. Craig McMurtry coming to the belt. The delivery to Carter catches the outside corner for a strike call. Gary Carter now with 65 RBIs. Just like that, he's on the top of the pile. McMurtry delivers to Carter, breaking ball, that misses away, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Boy, if he could hit a home run right now and build the excitement for possibly 4 in 1 ball game, this crowd would really love it. And they're not hating it right now.
No, they aren't. He has 3 home runs against Atlanta this season with a 2 tonight. 1-1 delivery. Breaking ball misses outside. 2-1. And you know he's looking for it. The Mets leading 10-0. No reason for him to do anything but shoot the works.
Oh, he's got to be thinking long ball all the way.
McMurtry comes to the belt. 2-1 delivery. Swung on, hit in the air to fairly deep center field. Going back, Dale Murphy near the warning track, and he's going to make the catch almost 410 feet away in straightaway center field as Carter gave it another ride, but this one stayed in the park. The Mets are going to add 3 more runs, however. They will do it on 3 hits and will leave a runner on. At the end of 3 innings, it's the Mets 10 and the Braves nothing. Sid Fernandez with a 10-0 lead goes to the fourth inning against the Braves with Bob Horner leading it off. As Horner steps in, we'll step out for station identification on the New York Mets Baseball Network.
Hi, this is Gary Carter. Proud to be part of the Silver Anniversary Edition Mets on your country music station 1050 WHN, New York.
Gary Thorne and Bob Murphy with you at Shea Stadium. It has been a wild one. The Mets with 3 in the first, 4 in the second, 3 in the third have taken a 10-0 lead on 8 hits. The Braves have no runs on 2 hits. Sid Fernandez will take on Bob Horner right here. Sid Fernandez has already struck out 5 in this ball game. Fernandez trying to become a 12-game winner. Delivery is a strike called, the off-speed curveball. Horner will be followed by Harper and Ramirez. 0-1 delivery. Swung on, hit in the air to center field. Dykstra will have to come in on it. Backman's going out. Dykstra time to get underneath it. Dykstra will make the catch. Horner retired on the fly ball. You go by the Elias Sports Bureau analysis on fly ball hitters and pitchers, this should be a Sid Fernandez ball game. Even if he wasn't ahead 10-0, he's against a fly ball hitting club. In fact, one of the teams that ranks at the top in the major leagues, throughout their lineup, they are fly ball hitters. And a fly ball pitcher matched up against a fly ball hitting ball club historically has always done very well. 1 down and nobody on. The delivery, swung on, hit towards second off the end of the bat. 1 hop to Backman. He goes to Keith Hernandez, and there are 2 away.
That was a fly ball to the last 5 feet.
Ball was right off the end of the bat. Had some real spin on it. Well, he took it on a hop going to his left. Say, when you've worked up a thirst cheering on the Mets, head for the mountains, fans, because for smooth refreshment, Busch beer is always the easiest call to make. Just ask Leo. 2 down and nobody on. Rafael Ramirez struck out his first time up, takes it down low for a ball. We remind you there are still good seats available for both tomorrow and Sunday. Tomorrow the gates will open at 11:20. The ceremony for the Equitable Old Timers Day begins at 11:45. 11:45 proceedings start, but the gates will open at 11:20. We hope you'll be here for all the excitement of what should be a magnificent day here tomorrow. 2-0 delivery. Ramirez swings and misses 2-1. On Sunday, tickets available for that game as well. The gates open at noontime Sunday. Thanks Rusty Day. Ceremonies honoring Rusty Staub begin at 1 o'clock. Pitch swung on and blooped outside of first base and into the stands. And the count goes 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mets against the Atlanta Braves this season, 4-2. Last year, the Braves beat the Mets only twice in the entire season. That's with a big lead here in the 4th inning. 2-2 pitch inside, and the count goes full on Ramirez. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Mets are liking Shea Stadium for home runs this season. They've now had 51 home runs at home. Swung on and popped up. Outside of first base, Hernandez and Carter are both there. Keith calling. Tries to backhand it, and he got it. A backhanded catch as he was worried about running into Gary Carter. He takes a high 5 from Carter as he was ducking away from Carter and kind of reached down and backhanded that ball in the air. 1-2-3 inning for Sid Fernandez. Going to the bottom of the 4th, Mets 10, Braves nothing. One of the very nice personal interest stories tonight, Gary Carter having 2 home runs already. Tonight, Leukemia Society night at the ballpark. They had a softball game to benefit the Leukemia Society before the Mets game. Gary Carter's the honorary chairman for the 2nd year in the New York area. His mom, of course, died of leukemia a couple of years ago. He has a very strong interest in that, and for every home run he hits, there's a considerable donation made to the Leukemia Society. So a nice night.
Gary Carter so sincerely dedicated to helping the cause.
Darryl Strawberry up, pitch to him's outside for a ball.
Gives of his time, gives of his money. Helpful wherever he can.
Tonight he's added, I think, $900 of those 2 home runs. 1-0 delivery, ground ball hit to short. Played by Thomas over to first. Close play, they won't get him. Ball bounced in the dirt. Horner tried to scoop it up, could not get it.
I thought he had it beaten anyhow. We'll see how the scorer felt about it.
Andres Thomas a little slow in making that play with the great speed of Darryl Strawberry.
I'd score that a base hit. It may go as an error, but from here it looked to me as though he had that throw beaten.
Would have been mighty close. George Foster stepping up. We'll give you the call as soon as we get it here. It's going to be an error.
That tells you what I know about it.
Well, I agree with you, though. I think he had it beat. Close play. The delivery to Foster. Ground ball hit towards third. Bobble by Ramirez. Picks it up. No throw. Error on Ramirez.
Well, when things go bad, they can really go bad, can't they?
Wow. He had a hopper that would have been a tough double play ball, but he certainly should have got the one at first. I'm wondering on Strawberry's, the error has got to be on shortstop Thomas.
Yeah, the throw was in the dirt.
So we've got an error on the shortstop and an error on the third baseman.
I was taking that into consideration. I knew the throw was in the dirt, but I also thought Strawberry had it beaten. It had it been perfect.
Yeah. So 2 errors in a row, and the Mets have runners on at first and second. Nobody out, and Ray Knight is up. Ray with a triple in the third inning. Trying to get that bat unwound. Pitch to him. Inside for a ball. He is 1 for 2 tonight. He's had only 2 hits in his last 25 times to the plate. Ray's average has dropped and taken him out of the top 10 now in the National League, where he had been virtually the entire first half of the season. Still hitting at .290. Pitch to him's in the dirt. Backhanded stop by Virgil. 2 balls and no strikes on Knight with Kevin Mitchell on deck. No warm-up action for the Braves. Craig McMurtry on for Palmer, who lasted only an inning and 2/3. He's going to have some hang time in this ball game. Pitch, ground ball up the middle. Second baseman Oberkfell can't get it. Base hit center field. Strawberry comes around. He'll score. Throw is cut off. Nope, they let it go through. Runners can't advance, though. RBI single for Ray Knight. So he's 2 for 3, and the Mets have an 11-0 lead. Stopping at second base is Foster. They had no play on Strawberry coming home. So there are runners at first and second now. Still nobody out, and Kevin Mitchell up. Mitchell has grounded out and drawn a walk in the ball game.
That'll be the first unearned run scored by the Mets in the game. The first 10 were all earned.
Ray Knight picking up RBI number 41. Delivery to Mitchell. Inside to him. Ball 1. Fastball, knocking him off the plate a little bit. Fans will be sensitive to that, as will the players. We already had 1 skirmish in the first inning after Carter's first home run. Strawberry was hit by a pitch, and they emptied out. Check swing. Looked like he went around on it. He did. 1 ball, 1 strike. Craig McMurtry, the right-hander for David Palmer, who gave up 7 runs and 5 hits, both of the Carter home runs, in an inning and 2/3. Sid Fernandez on deck here. Nobody out, 2 on. Delivery. Mitchell takes a breaking ball in the dirt away. Ozzie Virgil is going to be very glad when this game is over. He has been bouncing around in the dirt behind home plate right from the beginning of this ball game.
The way it's going right now, the whole ball club will be glad when it's over.
We are only in the bottom of the 4th inning. Foster at second, Knight at first. 2-1 pitch. Mitchell hits a grounder over McMurtry's head. Oberkfell tags the bag at second, throw to first, and they get the double play. A chopper by Kevin Mitchell. Oberkfell, the second baseman, went over and got it, and he was standing right on the bag at the time and turns the double play. Foster moves up to third base. Sid Fernandez comes up, 2 for 2. A single, a double, and an RBI in this ball game. Sid Fernandez try and make it 3 for 3. Pitch to him. Strike call in the inside corner. Sid Fernandez now with 7 hits, 38 times up, and a couple of RBIs on the season. Pitch to him, breaking ball that hangs up high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mets with 11 runs now on 9 hits. Braves, no runs, 2 hits, and a couple of errors, allowing 1 unearned run thus far this inning. Craig McMurtry to the belt. Pitch. Fernandez fouls it off the handle behind home plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Another big crowd on hand here at Shea for this Friday night ball game. The big weekend series. 1-2 count. The delivery to him, swung on, a ground ball to first, tapped. Horner's got it. He'll go to the bag himself, and that will retire the side. And the Mets are down in the 4th inning, but they had another run unearned. They'll do it on only 1 hit and 2 errors and leave 1 on base. The end of 4, New York 11, Atlanta nothing. Sid Fernandez with a big 11-0 lead as we get set for the 5th. You know, good fans are like a 10th man on the field to a team, and some of the best fans are right here in New York. So Met fans, for all you do, this Bud's for you. Well, Bob Murphy, we had been talking about a laugher for about the last week, wondering why the Mets didn't have one. Maybe we've got the answer here tonight.
Just a little bit early, but I don't think anybody's too worried about it. Tomorrow, the Silver Anniversary Old Timers game ceremonies at 11:45 a.m. I'll tell you one thing, the current edition of the Mets showing the Old Timers that they can play baseball. Ozzie Virgil takes a pitch inside, and it's ball 1. Now Sid Fernandez winding the 1-0 delivery. Outside and high, 2 balls and no strikes. Charlie Neal, the Hall of Famer Duke Snyder, the Duke of Flatbush, will be here tomorrow, and so will Rocky Swoboda. And the glider, Ed Charles. 2-0 delivery, towering infield pop-up. Fernandez calling as he comes in toward the mound, and he has it for the out. So Virgil retired on a towering infield pop fly.
Second baseman, Ken Oberkfell.
That is 6 fly ball outs now for Sid Fernandez. And Ken Oberkfell will be the hitter. He was fanned his first time up. It'll be good to see Cleon Jones and J.C. Martin. Ken McKenzie is here tonight. He was the first man from Yale University signed by the New York Mets, and the only pitcher in 1962 when the Mets lost 120 games to have a winning record. He was 5-4. Pitch thrown to Oberkfell, taken high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Little Alvin Jackson here early. He came in tonight and is watching the ball game. His son Reggie pitched in the Mets minor league system for several years. And the 1-1 delivery, hit late, a foul behind third that goes up into the crowd. I mentioned that Roy McMillan was on hand. Charlie Neal, Art Shamsky, the Stork, George Theodore is going to be here. Frank Thomas, Joe Torre will manage one of the teams. Wes Wester manages the other. Inside and high now, 2-2. Wes Westrom now scouts for the Atlanta Braves. Joe Torre, baseball television announcer for the California Angels. 2-2 delivery, a little wide, 3-2. Ron Swoboda, television sports announcer out in Arizona. 1 out and nobody on, top of the 5th inning. Now the 3-2 delivery, and a late swing is fouled back into the upper deck and out of play. Felix Millan will be here, one of the classiest of all of the New York Mets. That was a good trade when the Mets traded with Atlanta to get Felix Millan. Felix also scouts for Montreal, lives in Puerto Rico, but is talking about moving to the Fort Lauderdale area. 3-2 delivery, ball 4. Sid Fernandez issuing his second walk of the night. As he walks, Ken Oberkfell. Now let's see who comes on to bat. Looks like McMurtry will do the hitting. So McMurtry is going to have to hang in there and take one for the club for a while.
He's going to have to throw some pitches tonight regardless.
Greg McMurtry, right-hand batter. He was struck out his previous time at bat in the 3rd inning. 11-0 New York. We're in the 5th inning. Now the pitch thrown, swing and a miss, strike 1. Let's have the infield looking for 2. Fernandez around with the arm, a little bit outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Boy, Sid must be wondering what's going on. He's not used to having this kind of a lead. Although the Mets do score runs for Sid. Ron Darling is the one who works without the runs. 1-1 delivery, outside ball 2. It's 2-1. Funny how those things go. 1 year you won't get any runs. The next year you get a lot of them. Now Sid Fernandez with a 2-1 count on Craig McMurtry. He relieved the starting pitcher, David Palmer, who just had one of those bad nights. Over the years, Palmer had been very tough on New York. A lifetime 6-2 record. Swing and a miss, 2-2. High hard one, he came right after him. Fernandez already has 5 strikeouts. If Sid can win here tonight, he becomes the first 12-game winner in the National League. 2-2 delivery. Swing and a miss. Got him. And that will be number 6. Already in this game tonight, Gary Carter has taken over as number 1 in the National League at RBIs. With 7 RBIs in the game tonight, Carter has 65. Moving 3 ahead of Mike Schmidt of Philadelphia. They've got a tough game going in Montreal. Reds are leading Montreal 3-2 in the 8th inning.
Reds have lost Dave Concepcion with a broken hand. On the last play of the ball game last night, they put him on the DL today.
Boy, that's a tough loss. Foul ball back over our head and into the upper deck. I didn't see that story, but what a tough
loss. I heard that tonight coming into the ballpark. They didn't have the x-rays taken apparently until today, and it was the very last play of the game, and I don't even know which hand it was, but they put him on the DL today.
17-year veteran who can still steal bases, and he had a hot bat. He's been doing very well, particularly of late. Now a curve at the knees, strike 2. Andres Thomas, the rookie shortstop from the Dominican Republic. Right-hand batter, he's getting more and more playing time. They like him a lot. 2-strike delivery, up high, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now Sid Fernandez with a glance toward the runner at first. That's Ken Oberkfell. Outside and low. Dr. Ron Taylor will be here tomorrow for the Old Timers game. 3 really heartwarming stories. Jay Hook, after his career was over, went into private business and now is a corporate executive. And the pitch thrown. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 7 strikeouts in 5 innings for Sid Fernandez. He's averaging just under 8 a game. He almost has it in the first 5 innings here tonight. No runs, no hits, and a man left. Now we're halfway at the end of 4.5. Mets 11 and the Braves nothing.
Fans, you're invited to attend a special day at Shea this Sunday afternoon, July 13. The Mets will honor in a pregame ceremony a man who has given us all a lot of memorable thrills over the years, Rusty Staub. The festivities get underway at 1 p.m. The final game of the Mets-Atlanta Braves series starts at 2:05 on Sunday. All fans will receive a color-action print depicting Rusty throughout his career. Tickets are still available and can be purchased at all Ticketron outlets, at Shea Stadium's advanced ticket window, or if you'd like ticket information, call 718-507-TIXX. So come on out and help the Mets honor Rusty Staub this Sunday afternoon, July 13.
Len Dykstra, the Mets leadoff batter, facing Craig McMurtry, bottom half of the 5th inning. McMurtry has worked 2 1/3, allowing 4 runs and 4 hits. Slider inside and low. It is ball 1. And this is the Daily News hometown homer inning. Our contestants, Harold O'Leary of Astoria, New York, Laurie McKnight of St. Albans, New York. Inside and low. Dykstra almost hit one out of the ballpark in the 3rd inning. Long double to the 396 mark in right center to drive 2 runs in. New York 11 runs on 9 hits. Gary Carter has knocked in 7 of the 11. Inside, Dykstra stepping back, and McMurtry goes behind him. If a Met hits a home run in this half inning, our contestants win $1,000. It's over for a strike call, 3-1. Harold O'Leary of, I believe they mean Astoria. They're saying Astria the way it's written. Ground ball, base hit down the left field line. Dykstra hit it right over the bag and down the line, and you go into second with a double. And again, he burns the third baseman. Third baseman keep playing it on the grass to guard against the bunt. And Dykstra has become a real perfectionist. Incredible how he can hit that ball right over the bag and down the line. And he's doing it on purpose. It's not an accident.
Yeah, he got that. He steps up about a half step, hits off his front foot, inside-out swing. And he only has a couple of feet to work with the third baseman in and over, and he still gets it between the bag and the third baseman.
What a barrage of extra base hits here tonight for the New York Mets. They now have 6 extra base hits. 6 of the 10. Pitch to Wally Backman. Ground ball stabbed by Ramirez at third. He'll hold the runner. Throws to first for the out. Wally hit that ball sharply. Ramirez playing it at third, but this time it was hit right at him, and he was able to cope with it. So 1 out and 1 on. The number 3 hitter, Keith Hernandez. Well, Keith has walked twice already in the first 3 innings. 1 official time at bat, and he grounded out. Day game tomorrow, game 3 of the series. Rick Aguilera pitches tomorrow against Rick Mahler. Mahler is a 10-game winner. And that's no accident. He was a 17-game winner a year ago. McMurtry delivers. And it's outside to Keith Hernandez. Ball 1. Craig McMurtry first came up. It looked like he was going to have an outstanding career. Things have not gone well for him since the early part of his career. He was 15-9 in '83, first year up. Low outside, 2-0 to Keith Hernandez. But the following year, he went 9-17. Last year, he pitched most of the year in the International League with Richmond. Got into 17 games with Atlanta. So he's really trying to fight his way back. Low outside, ball 3. Hernandez on the verge of walking for the 3rd time in a row. And, of course, that would bring up Gary Carter, and there would be 2 men on base. Gary retired in the 3rd inning, but he hit the ball to the warning track. Ball 4, almost psychological, isn't it? The one guy you don't want up there right now with people on. And Keith Hernandez walks on 4 pitches.
Keith can't believe he's getting all these walks here tonight. He's not been hitting that well. He really would like something to hit, but those weren't even close.
3rd walk by Craig McMurtry. Starter David Palmer walked 2. Mets have now drawn 5. They've done quite a job of getting those who walked around to score. 3 of the 4 previous walks around to score. Now here is Gary Carter. He already has 7 RBIs. Homered in the 1st, homered in the 2nd. Curve inside. That turns him away from the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. Gary needs only 1 more RBI to tie the Mets club record. 8 RBIs in a game by Dave Kingman. Tonight, Sky King hit 3 home runs in 1 game at Dodger Stadium. And the 1-0 delivery. Ground ball to short. It should be a double play. Thomas to second for 1 and on to first, double play. And that retires the side. Taylor-made ground ball. And the Braves have their second double play. No runs, a hit and a man left on. And at the end of 5, it's New York 11, Atlanta nothing.
1050 WHN.
Respect is not something that is given lightly. You have to earn it. And no luxury car has earned a higher degree of respect than Chrysler Fifth Avenue for the way it combines spacious comfort, distinctive character, quiet, and power with a very real concern for value. With 49 luxury features standard, Fifth Avenue just may be the best luxury car value in America. Conditioning and just about every conceivable power feature you could want are standard in a sticker price that's $5,000 less than Cadillac DeVille, based on a comparison of manufacturers' suggested retail prices. Yet according to recent NADA reports, Fifth Avenue has better resale value than DeVille, and Fifth Avenue gives you 1 additional luxury that may be priceless: the peace of mind that comes with Chrysler's 5-year or 50,000-mile protection plan. Leases are excluded and restrictions apply. See this limited warranty at your New York, New Jersey, or Fairfield County Chrysler Plymouth dealer, and he'll introduce you to luxury with the utmost respect for your money. Fifth Avenue.
There's nothing like a summer day at Belmont. After all, Park is our second name. I'm Jerry McCune, president of the New York Racing Association, inviting you to beautiful Belmont Park. We've got over 400 acres of grass and trees, thousands of thoroughbreds, and millions of dollars waiting to be won. Now we're featuring Pick 6 betting, a sensational way to strike it rich. So come for the action. Stay for the atmosphere.
New York's winning at Belmont Park. Post time 1 p.m.
And batting third, number 49, and Hearn.
Now Keith Hernandez comes out of the game. Gary Carter will play first. Eddie Hearn is now catching. And we pause for station identification on the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is Ray Knight, and the Mets station is your country music station, 1050 WHN, New York.
Bob Murphy with Gary Thorne. Mets with an 11-0 lead, top of the 6th inning. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 in the Atlanta batting order. And the left fielder, Ken Griffey, the old pro, will be leading off. Griffey has drawn a walk and skied out, 0 for 1. Had a 19-game hitting streak stopped last night. Left-hander against left-hander. Foul fly down the left field line. No play. Foster on the run, coming over, but it'll go into the crowd. Tomorrow's first pitch at 1:50. And the old-timer ceremony starting at 11:45. Remember, on Sunday on Rusty Staub Day, the ceremonies for Rusty start at 1 o'clock, and it's a 2:05 first pitch. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the 6th inning. Pitch by Sid Fernandez, way outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sid has walked 2 and struck out 7. He's had a couple of 10 strikeout performances. High pop fly into short left field. Out goes Kevin Mitchell. In comes Foster. Mitchell makes the catch and gently falls down. But he held on to it easily. Another fly ball out.
The only chance Kevin may get. He didn't want to pass up having a chance to touch the baseball.
Now 1 out and nobody on. Dale Murphy to hit. Dale was called out and he bounced out. Nothing for 2.
Center fielder, Dale Murphy.
Dale Murphy went 3 for 3 in the game won by the Mets 5-1 behind Bobby Ojeda last night. Braves checked into New York playing .500 ball, 42 and 42. Mets were anxious to get rid of that 3-game losing streak. They were swept by the Reds. First time they have been swept all year long. So they were very anxious to be rid of that. They pulled that off last night. Now we're waiting for Dale Murphy to step in. Eddie Hearn is now catching, talking with the plate umpire, Jerry Crawford. Gary Carter no longer catching in this ball game, but he's still in the game. Gary playing first base. Inside low, 1 ball and no strikes. Sid Fernandez might very well be in the ball game Tuesday night at the Astrodome. Outside, ball 2. It appears that Dwight Gooden will start against Roger Clemens, although Clemens will start on Saturday for the Red Sox. This is taken low. Tom Seaver pitching for Boston tonight, but losing at the moment. California out in front 4-0.
He's out of the ball game now. Lawler's come on in relief for him.
Did you see the game they won last night?
Yeah, oh, Lord.
Incredible victory. Pitch on the way, a fastball for a strike. They went to the 12th inning. California got 3 runs in the top of the 12th. And in the last of the 12th inning, the Red Sox got 4 runs to win it. Fouled back on the screen and no play. So the Red Sox held on to their 8-game lead in the American League East.
Did you see how they scored the winning run of that ball game?
No, how'd they do it?
With a balk.
Oh, my goodness.
Scored on a balk.
Yankees may chop a game off that lead tonight. They're winning. The Red Sox are losing. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That is 8 strikeouts for Sid Fernandez. Boy, Sid is keeping his concentration so well. Many times when you have a real big lead like Fernandez is working with, you have a tendency to get a little bit sloppy. He has not done that at all.
He'd like to do really well here going into that All-Star game.
Now the hitter is Captain Bob Horner. He has struck out, fly to center. Curveball, a strike call. Bob Horner, right-hand power hitter. Last Sunday in Atlanta, he had 4 home runs in 1 ball game. Outside and high, 1-1. Because of the goodwill games in Russia. For the first time in 7 years, game was not televised in Atlanta on a Sunday afternoon. He hit 4 home runs. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss and a fastball. And it's 1-2 on Bob Horner. 6th inning, 11-0, Mets in front. Gary Carter has knocked in 7 of the 11. Pitching 1-2, up high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Following the Sunday game, of course, baseball will take its 3-day break for the All-Star game. Houston, the host city. 2-2 delivery, foul ball, no play, right straight back. You get a lot of those foul balls right straight back against that rising fastball of Sid Fernandez. Sid Fernandez, only 23 years old. And if he wins tonight, he's the first 12-game winner in the league. Eddie Hearn providing the target. The 2-2 delivery. Curve, strike 3 call. Beautiful curve ball on the outside corner. 9 strikeouts for Sid Fernandez. He's allowed only 2 base hits. In the 6th inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. In the middle of the 6th inning, New York 11, Atlanta nothing.
1050 WHN.
Honey, don't you think it's time we thought about some life insurance?
Yeah, I guess so. I just don't know where to start.
Well, I started for you.
Oh, you did? Where?
At our local savings bank. It's low-cost savings bank life insurance. SBLI limits have been increased to $50,000, and they've reduced their usual low cost to New Yorkers even further due to savings from issuing these bigger policies.
How much is low cost?
Well, let's see. You're 30 and don't smoke, so you can buy $50,000 of SBLI's 5-year renewable and convertible term plan for just $64.50 a year.
Really? Only $64.50 a year?
That's right. And I only pay $63 a year at the same age for the
New York Racing Association inviting you to beautiful Belmont Park. We've got over 400 acres of grass and trees, thousands of thoroughbreds, and millions of dollars waiting to be won. Now we're featuring Pick 6 betting, a sensational way to strike it rich. So come for the action. Stay for the atmosphere.
New York's winning at Belmont Park. Post time 1 p.m.
For Busch Beer, here's Hoyt Axton, heading for the mountains in New York.
I was swimming up Lake George one day. Everybody else was coming down in their canoes. But I had a mission. I was pulling a couple of river barges, had a rope in my teeth, flippers on my feet, and I was wearing a day-glow orange bikini bathing suit. Each barge was loaded with 50,000 cases of cold Busch Beer. The river was filled with dangerous beasts, great white sharks, hungry piranhas, man-eating crocodiles. They had one thing on their minds, my Busch Beer. I said, no way unless they had proper IDs. Now, you got to understand, New York crocodiles have a limited sense of humor. I continued, told them my smooth cargo was promised to some needy friends up Lake Placid way. The crocs still wanted the beer. What a predicament. I did the only thing I could. I headed for shore with my Busch Beer in tow, tied up, and drank it all myself.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
On our members-only scoreboard, the Cincinnati-Montreal game is in the bottom of the 9th inning. Franco's on in relief now for Cincinnati in the 9th, as Cincinnati has a 3-2 lead over the Expos. Mets with a chance to pick up a game here, the way that Cincinnati game's going right now. Chicago at Los Angeles, bottom of the 6th inning. Chicago has a 4-0 lead. Matthews is homered in that ball game. Sarge for the Cubs had his 9th 2-run homer in the 6th inning. Sanderson and Honeycutt the starters. Royce is on in relief. Philadelphia, Houston, bottom of the 7th. Phillies have a 3-0 lead. Mike Scott on for Houston, still pitching. Carmen started for Philadelphia, and Hume has come on in relief in the 6th. Carmen not a starter, so he's been pulled out of there, even though they have the lead. Sid Fernandez will lead it off. What a night for him. A single, a double, an RBI, 2 for 3 at the plate, throwing a shutout 2-hitter thus far on the mound. Craig McMurtry pulling the line for the Atlanta Braves in relief. Still on that mound, delivers inside for a ball. In the Philadelphia-Houston game, Hayes has homered. Vaughn Hayes has his 5th, and now Cruz has homered for Houston in the 7th, so it is 3-1. Sid Fernandez hits it down the left field line, misjudged, over the head of Griffey and into the corner. Sid Fernandez will go into second base, and he'll have a double. The ball was never touched. 3 hits in the ball game.
Sid Fernandez with his 3rd hit. That line drive badly misjudged by Ken Griffey. Not an easy one to pick up on, I guess. Kind of a spinning line drive curving toward the line, over the head of Griffey and then back into the corner. And Sid Fernandez will have a lot to talk about around the batting cage tomorrow.
Oh, boy, 2 doubles and a single. That is hit number 11 now. The Mets 11 runs on 11 hits. And Lenny Dykstra is coming up. Dykstra has 2 doubles already. He is 2 for 3, has drawn a walk, driven in 2 runs, and scored 1 himself. McMurtry's delivery is swung on and hit foul down the left field line. St. Louis did not score in the 1st inning at San Diego. Cox against Hawkins. Pittsburgh, San Francisco will just be getting underway. McMurtry's delivery to Dykstra, swung on and missed, strike 2. In the American League, New York leading Minnesota 2-0 in the 6th inning. Drabick against Heaton in a good one. Doubleheader tonight. Kansas City beat Detroit 4-3 in the first game. Fire over Waltero. Pitches inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. In the second game, Detroit leading 1-0 in the third. Johnny Grubbs had a home run in that ball game. Oakland playing at Toronto. Pitch to Dykstra's fouled off. They're in the 9th inning of their ball game now. And Toronto leads Oakland by a score of 6-5. Mike Davis has had 2 home runs for Oakland in that ball game. Garcia has homered for Toronto. California blanking Boston tonight. Score there is 5-0. Tom Seaver knocked out in the 7th inning. A couple of home runs by none other than Reggie Jackson, numbers 8 and 9, both solo shots. Dykstra takes it outside, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitcher is Kurt McCaskill for California.
I understand now why that ball was misplayed at left field. That is Rafael Ramirez playing left field now.
Swung on and missed by Dykstra. They struck him out.
The changes were not announced, but Ted Simmons is playing third base, and Rafael Ramirez is in left field.
Simmons is a catcher.
Ramirez, an infielder, got fooled by that line drive. And R.J. Horwitz says that's not the first time Sid Fernandez ever had 3 hits in a game. Second time, right, Jay?
Second time he's done that.
Way to go, Jay.
Holy mackerel. Sid Fernandez may be playing in the outfield here, huh? Wally Backman up, takes a strike on the inside corner. Dykstra struck out. First strikeout for McMurtry in the game. 1 away now. Fernandez on at second base. Wally Backman has had 2 hits. He's 2 for 4 in this ball game. He's going for yet another 3-hit night. Chance for Wally Backman. Pitch to him, breaking ball, missing. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Texas playing at Cleveland. They're in the 9th inning there. Cleveland has a 7-2 lead over the Rangers. Mel Hall's had his 16th home run for the Rangers in the ball game. Baltimore playing at Chicago. 1-1 delivered to Backman. Swung on, hit in the air, left center field, pretty deep. Going back, Ramirez and Marino looking up. And Ramirez makes the catch. Pretty good play by the infielder turned left fielders. Wally Backman hit that hard on the warning track in left center. Ramirez hauls it in, and there are 2 down. Baltimore, Chicago in the bottom of the 8th inning. Baltimore has a 4-1 lead. Cal Ripken set his 13th home run. Seattle got 3 runs in the first inning. Danny Tartabull with a 2-run homer against Milwaukee. And they lead 3-0. Milwaukee batting. That game was delayed an hour and 30 minutes by rain. Members only with the bold new styles and exciting colors has invaded the world of tennis and won. Now there's members only for on and off the court. Eddie Hearn up, fouls the pitch back. Eddie Hearn coming up for the first time in the ball game. Came on for Keith Hernandez, hitting in Hernandez's spot as Carter moved to first base. So Hearn's getting his first time up here, hitting at .310. Pitch to him, swung on and missed. Strike 2. 11-0 Met lead, bottom of the 7th inning. Runner on at second base, Sid Fernandez with 2 down. Delivery. Hearn takes a breaking ball away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Eddie, of course, has done a great job since coming up from Tidewater, backing up Gary Carter, getting a number of starts. Pitch to him, check swing and a slider away, 2-2. He has 3 home runs and 5 RBIs, along with that .310 batting average. Craig McMurtry checking the runner at second, Fernandez. 2-2 delivery. Just missed outside with it, and the count goes 3 balls and 2 strikes. Gary Carter waiting on deck. McMurtry comes to the belt. 3-2 delivery to Hearn. Swung on and missed, getting with a slider away. So Hearn goes down swinging. Couple of strikeouts in the inning. For Craig McMurtry, Mets get no runs on a hit. They'll leave a runner on. At the end of 7, New York 11, Atlanta nothing.
1050 WHN. We've bet Rattling Ray Stokes, the fastest talking man in New York, that he cannot name all the people who've become millionaires playing New York's Lotto in one 60-second commercial.
I can do it, no problem. I'm the fastest.
Ready, Ray?
All set, ready, Roger.
Okay, go.
Cesar Fernandez, Dorothy Ferguson.
When you play Lotto 48, you have a chance to hit 6 numbers out of 48 and join New York's growing family of Lotto millionaires. Keep it up, Ray, because Lotto 48 jackpots start in the millions and keep growing until someone hits.
Curtis Sharp Jr.,
and even if you don't hit the big jackpot, you can still be a winner. Every week, thousands of players win second, third, and fourth prizes by matching 5, 4, or 3 numbers plus the supplementary.
Solomon Mayer, Kenneth.
Oh, he's fast, folks. You can play Lotto 48 every Wednesday and Saturday.
Michael Sr. There, I've done it. I've named all the Lotto millionaires.
No, you didn't turn the pages.
Flosky, wait, there are hundreds of them. Adela Quinn, Warren Lugo.
Stay tuned to find out just how many commercials it would take Rattling Ray Stokes, the fastest talking man in New York, to name all of New York's growing family of Lotto millionaires.
Barbara King.
Give it up, Ray. You got a long way to go, fella.
Amico presents the Amico Sports Profile.
We're here with Gutterball Graham, professional bowler. Gutterball, can you spare a minute?
Always have time to strike up a conversation.
Gutterball.
Call me Gut.
Pro bowler, 15 years.
Yep.
You've never hit a pin. How'd you get into bowling?
I was born in an alley.
I see, and about your lifestyle.
Well, I live in the fast lane.
Okay, how do you keep it going?
Amico Premium Lead Free.
Amico.
Well, more drivers rated the highest quality gasoline.
Do you throw the ball in the gutter on purpose?
Hey, don't pin that on me. What is this, a frame?
Amico, your car knows.
Mookie Wilson will come on and play right field for Darryl Strawberry as we go to the 8th inning of this ball game. Davey Johnson now with the home plate umpire on the change. As we get set to go, let's pause right here and let our stations identify themselves. We pause for station ID on the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is Bob Ojeda, and the Met station is your country music station, 1050 WHN New York.
Shea Stadium with the Mets leading 11-0 in the 8th. Gary Thorne and Bob Murphy with you. Sid Fernandez has gone the distance in this ball game, giving up only 2 hits, and he'll face Ken Oberkfell. And there'll be a pinch hitter, apparently.
Billy Sample is out on deck, so I guess McMurtry will be asked to work no more tonight.
Certainly has served the purpose here tonight.
He's done a good job with it.
Delivery misses outside, ball 1. Oberkfell has drawn a walk and struck out. Fernandez with 8 strikeouts in the game. Swung on and fouled off, evens the count up at 1-1. David Palmer, the starter, lasted only an inning and 2/3. Tough night for him as he gave up 2 home runs to Gary Carter. A grand slam and a 3-run homer by Carter tonight, 7 RBIs. All 7 runs against Palmer and 5 hits. 1-1 delivery. Oberkfell takes it up high, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Left-hander delivers. Oberkfell, left-handed batter, takes it inside, 2-1. Against lefties this season, Atlanta 16-13. Sid Fernandez trying to make that 16-14. 3-1 pitch. Right down the middle with a fastball. The count goes 3-2. Cincinnati has defeated Montreal. That is a final now, 3-2. So the Mets have a chance to pick up a game. Inside with it, and he walked him. So Oberkfell will draw the walk, 3rd given up by Sid Fernandez in the ball game, and the first base runner on since the 5th inning when he also walked Oberkfell. The only 2 hits in the game, a single by Hopper in the 2nd and a double by Thomas in the 3rd inning. Billy Sample will pinch hit now. Right-handed batter, Sample hitting .246. 5 home runs and 8 RBIs. Sid Fernandez misses on the first pitch, ball 1. Nobody out here, runner on at first base. Only 4 have been stranded in this ball game by the Atlanta Braves against Sid Fernandez. Sid Fernandez has only 1 complete game. To his credit this season, got that against Pittsburgh. He gets very few of those. Delivery swung on, hit down the right field line in foul territory. Carter, the first baseman, trying to get it, can't do it. Bounces out of his reach and into the stands. Sid's last outing, 6 2/3 against Houston in a 5-3 win. Sid Fernandez. Big win streak on the line for him and would become the first National League 12-game winner. If he can do it here tonight. Wins 7 in a row. 7-1 in his last 8 ball games. Pitch is inside the Sample on a slow breaking ball. And the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Billy Sample, the pinch hitter, with Andres Thomas, the shortstop, on deck. Fernandez checking the runner. Carter not holding. The pitch to Sample, swung on and fouled back behind home plate. And the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Atlanta Braves coming into this ball game had been just broken a 5-game losing streak against Philadelphia the day before they came in. 2-2 pitch, swung on, ground ball towards second. Backman flips to short. Mitchell, one, relay to first, will not be in time. Ball not hit very hard. So Sample hit into a forced play as they get the lead runner, Oberkfell, at second base. Broken bat, ground ball, just made it out to Wally Backman, who made the underhand flip to Kevin Mitchell. Andres Thomas coming up. He has doubled in 3 times to the plate. The hot streaks of the Atlanta Braves being tamed by Met pitchers in these first 2 games at least. Griffey's big 19-game hit streak was ended last night. All the hits picked up by Murphy and Harper. 7 hits. Harper had 4, Murphy 3. Swung on and hit in the air to center field. Lenny Dykstra coming in a few steps, waits on it, reaches up and makes the catch. That will retire Thomas on yet another fly ball, and there are 2 down. That'll bring up Simmons for the first time in the ball game. Ted Simmons, the veteran, coming in to play third base in the last inning. He'll get his first time up right here, hitting in the number 2 spot for Griffey, who came out, with Ramirez moving from third to left. Simmons hitting at .265, a couple of homers and 18 RBIs. 2 down, runner at first. 11-0 New York Met lead. 11 runs, 11 hits for the Mets. No runs, 2 hits for the Braves. Sid Fernandez delivery is swung on and fouled straight back for strike 1. Gary Carter at first place, along with the rest of the infield, playing way back here with this 11-0 lead. Nobody's going to be running. 0-1 pitch, swung on, fouled right straight back again. And the count is 2 strikes. Man brought a fish net with him and a little trout net. Hauled that one in nicely. 2-strike count. Sid Fernandez checks the runner at first base. 0-2 delivery. Breaking ball inside to Simmons, and it hit him. Curveball got away from Sid Fernandez. Didn't want that. So Simmons is hit by a pitch, putting runners on at first and second now with 2 down.
Number 18,
That'll bring up Omar Marino. Marino coming on to play center field for Dale Murphy. Marino on the season, hitting at .246. A couple of home runs for him as well, and 16 RBIs. Sid Fernandez with 2 on and 2 down. The delivery, Marino hits it foul down the left field line.
Only the 3rd time all night the Braves have had a runner as far as second. They haven't had one as far as third.
They have had a long night. Trailing 11-0 when the Mets got 3 in the first, 4 in the second, 3 in the third, another in the fourth. Swung on and missed. Fernandez with a good inside pitch. The end of each month, we'll be selecting the Benjamin Moore Paint Mets Player of the Month. Benjamin Moore will donate quality paint to the winning player's favorite local charity on his behalf. 1 ball, 2-strike count. Delivery to Marino, swung on, hit down the third baseline, curving foul. Just got enough of the bat on that one to loop it. Almost had a base hit. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Top of the 8th inning. Sid Fernandez trying to get his second complete game of the season if he could pick one up here. He's not had to throw a lot of pitches with this big lead. Atlanta's been first ball hitting. He's got a great shot at doing it here tonight. 1-2 the count. Check of the runners. The delivery to Marino is inside, missing, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sid has only 4 complete games in his major league career. He has never pitched a shutout in the major leagues. He had 5 in the minor leagues. The last one was in 1983 when he was at San Antonio in the Dodger organization. 2-2 pitch up high, and the count is 3 balls and 2 strikes. So with runners at first and second and 2 down, a full count to Omar Marino. Chambliss waiting on deck. Sid's had more trouble tonight with left-handed batters throwing strikes than he has against right-handers.
I really believe it's because he sees so few of them.
Marino, a left-handed batter against the lefty with a 3-2 count. Check of the runners, 2 down. They're going. The pitch swung on and fouled off, and they'll have to do it again. So Fernandez has one win against the Atlanta Braves. The start this season against the Braves, he was non-decisioned in it. His only other start last year, and he picked up the win in Atlanta. Pitch swung on, ground ball hit towards second. Wally Backman over to Gary Carter, and that will retire the side. So Marino grounds out. No runs, no hits. 2 are left on base. Going to the bottom of the 8th, it's the Mets 11 and the Braves nothing.
1050 WHN. If the road is in your heart, GMC has the truck, and that's when you will start to drive the toughest bargain anywhere around, because your GMC truck dealer's dealing smart.
Anything cars can do, we can do better. So maybe your next car should be a GMC truck from your New York, New Jersey GMC truck dealer. Our GMCs are civilized, equipped with the options you'd expect in a car. But if you're a people-packing person, you've come to the right vehicle, because our GMCs can get you and more of your friends wherever you want to go with roominess and comfort. Whatever your load, people, trailers, golf clubs, or groceries, there's nothing a car can do that a GMC truck can't do better. See for yourself this week at your New York, New Jersey GMC truck dealer, because we're dealing. Remember, anything cars can do, we can do better.
Your GMC truck dealer's dealing smart.
In Staten Island, see Villa Marin GMC, and in Randolph, visit Salerno GMC.
Your home is a reflection of your good taste, so you should never trust its appearance to anything less than Benjamin Moore paints. For over 100 years, Benjamin Moore has offered consumers uncompromising quality on both interior and exterior paints. Paints of the finest quality, produced to the most exacting standards. Doesn't your home deserve the very best? See your local Benjamin Moore paint dealer and see how affordable quality can be.
See Laurel Hardware and Paint, 59-08 Main Street, Flushing, New York, and McDermott Paint and Wallpaper, 83 Railroad Avenue, Greenwich, Connecticut.
Ed Olwine will come on in relief. Hyannisport, Massachusetts native, who is 28 years old, a left-hander making the start. He had been pitching at Richmond, AAA level for the Braves, where he was 2-0, 20 appearances, all as a reliever. And the left-hander will come on and make the relief appearance here.
He pitched in Tidewater, did he not, last year? Belonged to the New York Mets, and the Mets traded him to the Atlanta Braves.
He was with Tidewater for a couple of years, was in the Yankee organization prior to that. Went to Morehead State University, was a 3-year college baseball player there, and then he was selected by the Yankees in 1980. The Mets picked him up in 1983 in the minor league draft.
He might have been a teammate of Walter Terrell's at Morehead State. They're about the same age.
May well have been. Has bounced around, acquired by the Braves in a trade by the Mets for Mike Santiago. He's in the Mets minor league organization. So Ed Olwine, a left-hander. He was purchased outright on June 1. His spot on the roster opened up when they had to put Bruce Sutter on the disabled list. So Olwine will face Gary Carter. Carter trying to do what he's done before, and that's hit 3 home runs in a ball game. In the first inning, he had his 15th, a 3-run homer. He had a grand slam in the second, his 10th career grand slam. He has since hit into a double play and fly deep to center field. Carter had a 3-home-run ball game against San Diego last season. Olwine's delivery, the left-hander, is in for a strike. Mookie Wilson will follow, and then George Foster. No Met has ever had a 4-home-run ball game. Carter had a shot at it tonight, getting his first 2 times up. Olwine's 0-1 pitch misses down low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Carter has 7 RBIs in this game, 1 short of the Met record. Dave Kingman with 8 RBIs holds the Met record for the most in a 9-inning ball game. Carter 7 in the first 2 innings, all off David Palmer. Olwine, a 1-1 count. The delivery to Carter is taken on the outside corner. A fastball for a strike, and Olwine goes ahead. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Infield back deep, outfield the same way, playing Carter to pull the ball. Over fell the second baseman. Swung way around towards second base. 1-2 delivery to Carter. Swung on, hit foul outside of first. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. New York Mets, who have had 3 home runs in a ball game besides Carter. Darryl Strawberry got 3 at Chicago last year. Claudell Washington in 1980 had 3. Dave Kingman and Jim Hickman all have had 3 home runs in a ball game. Carter could be the first one to do that twice if he could get one right here. 1-2. Owine's delivery way outside with it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Mets leading 11-0. Whatever drama's left is Carter's chance to hit 3 home runs and Sid Fernandez's chance to get his first complete game shutout. 2-2 delivery. Swung on, hit foul outside of third on a line drive. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes on him. Sid Fernandez also has had 3 hits in this ball game. Second time he's done that. Had a 3-hit game, 2 doubles, a single, and an RBI. Sid Fernandez, he now leads New York Mets pitchers in work done at the plate. Owine with a 2-2 count. He works out of the stretch, delivers to Carter. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. So Gary Carter will get the big hand from the crowd here. The job he did tonight. Standing ovation. Owine with 1 away will face Mookie Wilson coming up for the first time in the ball game. Mookie coming in for Darryl Strawberry, playing in right field. 39,924 the paid here tonight. 41,741. Big Friday night crowd. Over 39,000 total in attendance last night. Delivery to Mookie is in the dirt. Ball 1. Mookie Wilson hitting at .280. Mookie has 5 home runs and 14 RBIs. He and Lenny Dykstra continue the platoon in center. And they're both in there usually at the end of a ball game for defense. 0-1 pitch, swung on, lined up the middle, base hit. Hard single by Mookie, and the Mets have their 12th hit of the ball game. George Foster coming up with 1 away. Foster in the ball game is 0 for 4. Reached on an error in the 4th inning and was left on. Craig McMurtry going 5 1/3 innings in relief, 4 runs on 6 hits. Palmer an inning and 2/3, 7 runs on 5 hits. McMurtry and Palmer together gave up 6 walks in the ball game, struck out only 3 Mets. The delivery is swung on and foul back off the screen, and the count is strike 1. George Foster coming into the game hitting at .245 with 13 home runs. Gary Carter now, of course, has taken the lead. Both home runs and RBIs with his 2 tonight. Leads the National League in runs batted in. Check swing and a ball away. He could not hold up in time. Strike 2 called. So Owine goes ahead here, 0-2. Braves starting the day 4 games behind the Houston Astros and Giants in the National League Western race. While the Mets have a 10.5 game lead. Montreal's already lost, so the Mets could make it 11.5 here with a win tonight. Owine's 0-2 pitch. Foster fouls it right straight back again. The count remains at 2 strikes. Houston and San Francisco, identical records of 46 and 39. Starting play today. Both those ball clubs still have ball games underway. San Diego was out by 2 and Atlanta by 4. Ed Owine with a 2-strike count delivers to Foster. Swung on and popped up. Third base, Simmons calling for it. Thomas calls him off and makes the catch. Shortstop Andres Thomas giving some help to catcher Ted Simmons, playing third base now. There are 2 away. Ray Knight has had a good one. He has doubled and singled in 3 times up. Also has drawn a walk. He's driven in a run and scored 1. Ray hopes that'll turn the batting average around a little bit. He's sitting at .290. Ray coming into the game had only 1 hit in his last 23 times up. We'll better that. tonight. Delivery to him is up high for a ball. Left-hander Ed Olwine with Mookie Wilson on at first base. An 11-0 ball game. Mets leading in the bottom of the 8th inning. Olwine, the left-hander, comes to the belt. 1-0 delivery to Knights. Inside again. Ball 2. Olwine had been with the ball club earlier in the season. Had been with Atlanta, then got sent back down. So he's up for the second time. 2-0 delivery. Fastball for a strike at the knees. The count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Olwine in previous appearances pitched in 11 games, 13 2/3 innings, 4 runs and 11 hits. Not performed badly for them, but they didn't have a roster space for him until Suter's injury. 2-1 deliveries. Check swing. He went around on it. Ray Knight could not hold up, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sid Fernandez will come out and try and lay down a complete game shutout, something he's never done before when he goes to the 9th inning. 2-2 count right here on Knight. Olwine to the belt. Mookie Wilson at first. The delivery. Inside. Gets by the catcher, Virgil. Bounced in the dirt. Going to second, Mookie Wilson, and he'll hang on there. Wild pitch on Olwine, who dumped it out in front of home plate. So Mookie's in scoring position. And the count is full. 3-2 on Ray Knight. Second wild pitch we've had by Atlanta pitchers. David Palmer picked up one. Don't forget now, tomorrow for the Old Timers Day game, get here early and enjoy the great festivities of it. Gates open at 11:20. 11:20 gates open tomorrow. The ceremonies begin at 11:45 for the Old Timers, Equitable Old Timers Day tomorrow at Shea. 3 ball, 2 strike count, 2 down. Delivery to Ray Knight, swung on and foul back out of play again behind home plate. Count remains full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. There are tickets available for both tomorrow and Sunday's game. Rusty Staub Day on Sunday. Gates will open at 12 noon on Sunday, with Rusty ceremonies beginning at 1 o'clock. Ray Knight waiting on Olwine on the 3-2 count again with 2 down. Olwine will take a look back to Mookie. The 3-2 delivery. Inside, he walked him. So Olwine delivers a base on balls. And with 2 on and 2 down, it'll bring up Kevin Mitchell. Mitchell is 0 for 3 in the ball game and has drawn a walk. He scored on the walk in the 3rd inning. Lenny Dykstra with a couple of RBIs and a double that inning. Sid Fernandez coming out in the on-deck circle here would just as soon not hit and get back out on the mound and try and wrap it up. 2 down, 2 on. They delivery to Mitchell. Strike called in the inside corner to Kevin. Mitchell hitting .344. Starting again at shortstop in this ball game. Sid Fernandez pitching has had very few chances. Watching the outfielders haul them in. Kevin Mitchell now has played shortstop 18 games this season. Pitch is inside, 1-1. He's the first major leaguer to start at 5 positions this year. Shortstop, right field, center field, third base, and first base. He's also played 6 games in left field, but none of those as a starter. Making his way around, the rookie. 1-1. Delivery to him, swung on and fouled off at home plate. Olwine ahead on the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kevin Mitchell not only will make the all-rookie team, he could be the all-rookie team. Just move him around. He certainly will be in the running for Rookie of the Year.
In the early part of the year, it didn't appear he'd play enough or get enough at-bats. But now it seems like he's essentially get enough at-bats to be a strong candidate.
1 ball, 2 strike count on him. Ed Olwine taking a long time between pitches here. Comes to the belt, Mookie at second, Ray Knight at first. 1-2 delivery. Missed up high, and Olwine has a 2-2 count. Olwine's prolonging the agony even for his own teammates here tonight with an 11-0 ball game in the bottom of the 8th inning. Olwine has the sign, 2-2 count. 2 away here, delivery to Mitchell. Outside, and the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Olwine having a hard time keeping it in the strike zone here. He goes 3-2. 2 down, 2 on. They'll be running. Wilson and Knight. Kevin Mitchell hanging loose, waving the bat, waiting on Olwine. Comes to the belt. 3-2 delivery. Swung on and missed. Struck him out on a high fastball. So Mitchell goes down swinging. Olwine with a couple of strikeouts in the inning. Mets get no runs on a hit. They'll leave 2 on. We go to the 9th inning. New York 11 and Atlanta nothing.
1050 WHN. If you like the Mets in action, you're going to love coverage of the Mets in the Daily News. For New Yorkers, the News has always been the best place in town to catch up on baseball. Well, now it's even better, because every morning the Daily News is delivering more and later sports. Plus that fresh new talent, Jim Naughton, covering the Mets. Daily News Sports. It's the hottest sports section in town. For home delivery of the news, call 1-800-692-NEWS.
The Daily News.
It's marked $17.95 on the book jacket. But when you buy any 4 Delco shock absorbers, you get General Chuck Yeager's best-selling autobiography free. Yes, free for the story of the first man to fly faster than the speed of sound. The World War II flying ace who shot down a German jet with a prop-driven P-51. The legendary test pilot and now AC Delco's spokesman. With your purchase of any 4 Delco shock absorbers, you get this inspiring bestseller. Come to Rochelle Auto Service, 128 Rochelle Avenue in Rochelle Park, New Jersey, and Skyline Service Center, Boulevard East and 67th Street in West New York, New Jersey. Get your Delco shocks and Chuck Yeager's bestseller.
In 1966, this is what you were listening to on the radio.
Well, the one on the right was on the left, and the one in the middle was on the right.
And don't come home a drinking with lovin' on your mind.
Hungry for your love, and I'm waiting in your welfare line.
This is Stan Martin. Join me Saturday night at 6 on the WHN Memory Machine to hear the biggest country hits of 1966 on 1050 WHN.
Sid Fernandez trying to do what he's not done before. And Bob Murphy, we'll see if he can wrap it up.
To get his first complete major league shutout. He's had a 2-hitter before. That was not a shutout. Sid has allowed only 2 hits in the entire ball game. Terry Harper singled to center in the 2nd. Andres Thomas had a double to left in the 3rd. Chris Chambliss hitting for the first time in the ball game. And the pitch is over, strike 1. On the year, Chris hitting .375, 21 hits in 56 times at bat. Up high, 1 ball and 1 strike. The game tonight, Sid has walked only 2 and struck out 9. Twice before this year, he's been in double figures. He needs 1 here to get it. High pop foul, probably out of play. Eddie Hearn coming back, may have a play, and he makes the catch. Back against the backstop, taken by Eddie Hearn. 3 ground ball outs, that's all. Everything else, a pop-up, a fly ball, or a strikeout. And a lot of strikeouts, 9 of them. Now here's Terry Harper. He's the hot bat of the Atlanta lineup. He went 4 for 4 last night. Got to hit his first time up tonight. But since then has grounded out and flied to right. Harper glad to be hitting after a very slow start this year. New York leading 11-0 in the 9th inning. And a breaking ball strike call. Cincinnati beat Montreal 3-2. A victory by New York. Their lead would be 11.5 games in the National League East. Now Eddie Hearn setting that low target. Curveball a little outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sid shooting for his 12th win of the year against only 2 losses. He'll be the first National League pitcher to win 12. And the 1-1 delivery up high. It's 2-1. Shane Raleigh of the Phillies and Fernando Valenzuela of the Dodgers. And they are 11-game winners. They are not pitching tonight. Sid was the first to get to number 11. 2-1 delivery by the talented Hawaiian is high outside. Ball 3-1. Kevin Mitchell has had one chance at short tonight. He handled that without any trouble at all. 3-1 delivery, foul ball, straight back, 3-2. Behind Terry Harper in the batting order is Rafael Ramirez. Ramirez played third most of the game and then went to left field when Ted Simmons came in and took over at third. Payoff delivery. Ground ball hit the shortstop, handled by Kevin Mitchell. Here's the throw, 2 men down. So Kevin getting a second chance of the night. Throws out Terry Harper. 2 outs and nobody on in the 9th inning. Rafael Ramirez will be the batter. So now Sid is only an out away from a 2-hit shutout. In his last start, it was a brutal day. Temperature up around 95. Pitch thrown to Ramirez. Strike call to the inside corner. He was mad at himself that he didn't finish the ball game that day. He was the only one. Everybody else thought he had done a dynamite job. And the 1-0 delivery. Low inside. 1-1 on Rafael Ramirez. Ramirez, right-hand batter, is 0 for 3. Sid has not given up a hit since the 3rd inning of the game. Now he misses high with his fastball. He allowed a 2nd inning single to Terry Harper, a double in the 3rd. 3 times the Braves have had a runner as far as second. They have not had a runner around to third all night long. High pop fly. The game should be over. Foster, the left fielder, is standing under it, waiting, and Sid Fernandez has posted a 2-hit shutout. Beautiful performance by Sid Fernandez. He did not give up a hit over the last 6 innings of the ball game. And he has his first Major League complete game shutout. In the 9th inning, nothing across. Back with a happy recap in just a moment. Final score, Mets 11 and Atlanta nothing.